Hi there, welcome to my video on how to set up prerequisite lessons in Thinkific. If you notice that there is another video on this, I've decided to re-record and update this for better teaching and demonstration purposes. So with that said, how to set up prerequisite lessons. I'm going to just take this Launch Your Online course in 6 weeks and show you how to set it up in your Thinkific course player. The other thing I want to mention is that prerequisite lessons can be set in so many different ways. You can set an individual video, quiz, survey, or homework assignment as a prereq, but you can also make an entire chapter or module a prereq, or if you'd like, you could make parts, or what I would like to say, some lessons within a chapter or module a prereq. But the one thing I want to point out is that with online courses right now, they're so popular and accessible. The challenge is really getting students to complete them and to really engage with them. The challenge is sometimes that students tend to jump around, and while that is important to encourage a student to be flexible and to allow them to learn at their own pace, there are sometimes some fundamentals that a student really must grasp before they can move on to the other lessons in a course. If you want to think about it this way, some subjects such as science or computer programming or medicine have prereqs in terms of what skills you must demonstrate, what courses you must take before you can take this course. So the concept can be applied here. You can set these lessons as prereqs to ensure that your students do not go too far ahead and jump too far ahead to preview the entire course without grasping the basic first chapter or module. So with that said, let's just take a look at this first module here as an example. So this one right now is a learning outcome, and I haven't made it a prereq. But if I decide, since I've already made quite a few lessons prereqs, I might as well just go ahead and make this a prerequisite as well. So I'm going to scroll down under lesson settings and look for this checkbox, make this a prerequisite, and check this box here. And then after that's done, I really want to make sure I click save. And this is important even if you decide to uncheck this box as well, that you really have to remember to click on the save, because otherwise it won't save. But for example, I've already, once I know that it is a prereq, there will be this key here to indicate that it's a prereq. And so I've made quite a few lessons in this section and our module prerequisites. And now I want to show you that what it looks like when I'm in the course player and previewing it as a student. Because you might want to ask me like, okay, so it's a prereq, but how will a student know that it's a prereq? So the student will see the indication that it's a prereq, and then there's also an opportunity for you to add or customize the text to let students know, hey, please watch this video before continuing, or this is a prereq, and please take your time. So let's take a quick look at how it looks like as a student. So as I said, it's this first week here. And you'll see anything that is a prereq, the student will know that it's a prereq because this text will be showing up after each lesson that is a prereq. So I've set my message as these lessons are set as a prereq for your learning experience and take your time. Now that's the message that I use for this video, but you can use whichever message that you like. Now I'm going to go back to my dashboard and now show you how to customize those messages so that your students know what's happening. So we're going to go to settings, and then under settings we're going to look for learning content, and then we're going to modify any text on this site that relates to learning content. And here you see all these kinds of different messages, and we're going to look for a few of the ones that relate to prereq so that you can see all the different ways that you can customize this. So this prereq, if it says prereqs that for anything that has not been completed and a student tries to move on to the next video or lesson, this message will show up that says, please watch the video before continuing. The same thing happens if a student tries to move on to the next chapter without having completed all the previous lessons in the previous chapter. Then this message will show up that says these lessons are set as a prereq and blah, 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 blah. Now, in terms of the actual prereq, a student will see this, the one that I just showed you earlier. These lessons are set as a prereq for your learning experience. Take your time. So as you see here, each video underneath has a explanation text that says these are prerequisite lessons. And I just want to point this out as a way to let my students know to take their time. So again, the benefits of these prerequisite lessons are to really encourage mastery, grasping fundamentals, and higher engagement and completion rates for your online course. You really can use prerequisite lessons in so many different ways, either with a knowledge check and or quiz. You can even have students at the end of a lesson. So what I could do if I'm teaching a programming course, I could, after the end of this, make a homework to have students demonstrate whether they've grasped the fundamentals in that first module. And so those are different ways that I can show my student how to really focus and to be more disciplined in taking the time to finish individual lessons before moving ahead. So I hope that video helps. Let me know if you have any questions, give me any feedback, and leave a comment, like the video if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more Thinkific tutorials. Thanks again.